All right, I just hit the record button. So, we're officially recording now. This is going to be sort of a different meeting, a little bit of a relaxed meeting. Brian is,
Hi, everyone.
hey, good evening. Brian is boarding a plane. Whoa, a little bit of feedback there.
That's the plane he's
Anyway,
boarding right there.
That's the plane.
Yeah, Brian is boarding a plane and in Detroit, of all places. It's about 23 degrees for him, and he's headed home to warmer weather. Good for him. So I was actually on the golf course practicing some putting, and he called up and said, "Hey, by the way, would you mind handling the meeting tonight?" Sure, of course. So here I am. Well, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and get the meeting rolling. It's I got about 9:03 by my Mickey Mouse watch here, so we can rock and roll. For those of you who've been keeping up with the news, I see where Carlton Purnell passed away, and I'd like to start off the meeting with a moment of silence in honor of Carlton. So if we can all just say your prayer, your special prayer for both Carlton and his family, that would be very nice. Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any hot button topic that is burning at the top of their forehead they need to share with us tonight?
Yeah, I'll go.
I saw you move. I'm a big body language kind of person. I saw you almost jump out at the screen. So,
Yeah.
Go ahead, David.
All right. So we're, as you may know, my kids have started a rec club here locally.
Very good.
And they are very interested in the eyeglass project. So they have made collection boxes to take to different Rotary clubs, and they're visiting. They're going to start tomorrow, talking at Rotary clubs and trying to get Rotarians to donate their glasses and $10. We're going to try to get this thing off the ground. They've also made flyers based on the one that was posted on our website. So they're trying to get involved.
What did you promise them?
I made some insinuations, a little innuendo, but nothing concrete. They can't hold me to it.
Okay, all right. No tape recordings.
It's a brand new club, and they were trying to find a project, and I was like, well, how would you like an international project? And they jumped at it. So the district governor knows about it. He thinks it's great, so we're getting our name out there too.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you have kept up with the e-happenings. I don't know if you've had time to read through that. I glanced over and I saw a couple of things that I thought were interesting. One is that I didn't realize that Amazon will contribute to the Rotary Foundation. If you make a purchase through Amazon, if any of you have Amazon accounts, you log on to smile.amazon.com and register through them. When you make a purchase, a portion of your purchase will go to the Rotary Foundation. And if you don't have a Amazon account, they'll be happy to allow you to create an Amazon account. So I don't know who was able to pull that together, but kudos to whoever did that. That's a pretty good deal.
Sorry
Also,
to say that I have spent a lot of money through Amazon that has ended up at Rotary Foundation, more than I should have.
now, was that you or the Mrs.?
That was me. Have to buy my toys.
So should I expect that gift at the front door? Is it tomorrow or a Saturday?
No problem.
You can just add to the other things. Hey, and please, everyone remember, we've got a couple of rides coming up. Of course, we all know about the Twisted Sisters. You know, that's going to be really neat that UT has been working really hard on. But the other one, Jim, is the Friendship Ride to end polio, right?
Correct.
Right, in May. There's UT. I was just talking about you, and you appeared.
What?
Your ears should be burning.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was talking about the Twisted Sisters ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keep that alive so that we're all together on that and have a good showing to show up down there in Texas.
Of course.
Because we're looking forward to a spectacular ride.
Not only the ride is beautiful, but there is a rally in this time when we are there. So there is the hell out at this weekend. You know, it's really bombastic.
Oh,
so
is it going to be crowded then?
Yes, there is. The good thing is because we are Thursday, we're starting it there, right? So
Right.
The good thing is because most were coming in at Friday, but they're arriving Friday. So for us to go on the Twisted Sisters, we have to do that at the Friday.
Ah.
Because when you want to do it on another day, the hell is up there. You know, they're expecting 15,000 riders up there.
It's a big rally, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every year. And Bandera is it's a little village. It's only 2,000 people living there or something, not more. You know, so for them, this was why it was so complicated to get the rooms, to block the rooms, because they get, booked out very quickly in the whole area. This is why it was so important to start so early, you know. And when now somebody wants to come, they can try. But, you know, I said, you can sleep in my room on the floor. I don't care. But it's hard to get another room then, you know, because it's done now. When I ask so many hotels. And what I liked at this place is it's a ranch, is a little bit outside. It's bad. They have an own restaurant over there, so you can eat there. So don't worry about that. But if we would stay in town, you cannot sleep, you know, because they make the whole day, the whole afternoon, they will make a party up there. And you don't want to stay there, believe me. So this is why we was going outside a little bit. But
So,
it's only a few minutes away.
so how far is the nearest major town, major city?
Between Austin and San Antonio.
Oh, in San Antonio, okay.
So, and this is the next thing. What we want to do, we want to go one day to San Antonio, and I still picked a route out to go to San Antonio because it's a must-have. If you are in this area, you have to go to San Antonio. It's so magical.
Oh, yeah. San Antonio is great.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I plan to say, to make the Twisted Sister. They are really nice. But because of the rally, we have to do it before the weekend, because then everybody will go out there, you know. And so we are arriving at Thursday, and we will make the ride at Friday. And Saturday we can make the trip to San Antonio. Yes. This is a plan. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jim, I'm sorry, UT came on. I was just starting out with the IFMR friendship ride. That's in May.
End of May, yeah.
29th through the 30th.
On Friday, we're going to do a ride, and we're going to do a ride on Saturday. And one of those days we'll have the snake. That's supposed to be a big ride out there. I did it last time I was up there. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, Johnson City has some pretty good riding roads. A lot of twisties. Unfortunately, last time I went through there, it was snowing, and I was on the motorcycle. Not a real good mix for me, but hey, I survived it.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
All right, let's see. What else do we have on the schedule there? I think that was the last thing.
Where is it in May, this ride, what you just talked about it?
The 29th and the 30th.
No, where? What
Johnson City, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Oh, that's not
Yes.
far from me.
Well,
We just came from Tennessee. You know, I know.
it
I
depends.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Emilio, I saw your face, right?
Right.
But we just made the trip to North Carolina, you know, so that was a little bit more far than Tennessee.
Exactly.
We passed Tennessee, and Tennessee is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Hmm. But this is why it's. I was there with the bike, so it's not that bad. Should be not that
So
bad.
when
How
you're
many
traveling
miles?
back and forth across the country, especially on a bike, because you don't have all that metal around you, you really get to see things and appreciate your surroundings. One of the things you notice almost immediately is there's a separation between the West and the East, and it's along the lines of color. When you hit the East, you see this vibrant, beautiful greenery everywhere. You get out to the West, you lose all of that, and everything looks brown and hot. It's amazing, especially when you get to, I guess, Arizona. Beautiful country, beautiful landscape. It's just different for Easterners when they travel out to the West. They lose that lush greenery, and it's one of the first things. Well, when I went to Nova Scotia, the upper part of Maine, I kept looking around because under my helmet, it smelled like Christmas trees everywhere. It was all the pine trees. I felt like I wanted to die and go to heaven there. I mean, it was great. I was looking around for Santa Claus, never found him. But
And what time of the year was it?
this was the end of June, around the first part of July.
No Christmas time, definitely.
No, but it was definitely a lot of pine trees there, and it smelled absolutely. If I could have bottled that, I could have made a fortune.
Mhm.
One of those things.
This is one when you go in Germany through the forest. This is what I really miss here, because here is not really forest. But this is, I think, exactly the same what you're talking about right now. When you go through, you can smell the mushrooms even, you know,
Yes.
everywhere. It's only gorgeous, really gorgeous.
We left Munich, and first stop was, I made mention of this before, first stop was in Austria, and I didn't want to leave. It was just, you know, the rolling hills, and the people were so hospitable. Just, it was great. I'd go back tomorrow if I could.
Mhm.
And I will go back again.
Maybe the next time, maybe we can get together, make a trip in the pyramids or whatever.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Italy, it's beautiful.
Because the only place I don't want to return to is the Dolomites in northern Italy. Beautiful riding,
Yeah.
but they didn't have that friendly atmosphere that you would
Italian.
experience in southern Italy. Northern Italy was a little bit too rough and abrasive for me. And I don't do well with not so nice people.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
bristle up.
Okay. But Emilio wanted to say something earlier.
Yes, Emilio.
Let me
You're-
get on mute first.
Yeah.
Oh,
that-
I was gonna Ute is talking about the forest, but when you go through Tennessee, you can go through some areas that are heavily wooded, and you can smell
Oh,
the
yeah.
pine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in those areas, I was at the through driving through the Black Forest in Germany,
Mhm.
and I could smell all that, and I was like, oh man, it's pretty impressive. But you're talking about the Pyrenees. I, I thought that that would be an excellent ride, but
Yeah.
I went through there on Volkswagen 1200, those little tiny golf carts.
Hmm.
So, and I thought it was awesome. That was a great experience. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
I was going through a part of the Pyrenees in Spain, when you go over Spain and then getting
Oh,
to
yeah.
France. And France have the best road, actually, the best asphalt. There is very grub. It's not that fine, but it has such a good grip when you go with the motorcycles. It's amazing. So, and especially when you go, there is in France, there is one, it's close to Avignon, Nîmes. There is a mountain, it calls Mont Ventoux. And when they make the Giro d'Italia with the bicycles, they go,
Oh, yeah.
and the Tour de France, they
Seen
go
that.
always in this direction. And this to see, they are so small streets sometimes. There was one pass, it called Zoncola. I was so afraid I cannot make it. It was so small, and I was always scared that a car, when it comes from the other side, I cannot go on the side. And that was going, some meters was going straight away down, it's very dangerous. But I made it at the end, and there are some tunnels, they have no light inside. So you go inside the tunnel like this, and then it make a curve like this inside the tunnel.
Wow.
So, and it's
Oh.
only gorgeous, it's unbelievable. And especially the corner, Austria, Slovenia, and Italy. This corner, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, so I really miss that. But Tennessee, we stopped. We had actually an accident, my husband and I, when we was in North Carolina. He have a 2018. Is it 2018? Yes. Rally GS, right? She's a little higher, and she had this stupid board computer. Everything is with computer, and and he have a TF. It's one program inside that controls everything. So what was happening is, last year we bought us some new Schubert helmets. They have the Sena communication system inside.
Right. Right.
So that's really great. So it works perfectly. But when we are try to getting connected, because of this TFC, they I don't know what it make, but the communication was not free. I cannot hear anything. So when he wanted to give me some, directions or whatever, I couldn't understand him. At the end, we ended up that we stopped the communication completely. And on Friday, we have an appointment at the dealership. He need an update for that. And then he need both helmets from us that he can, connect it correctly. But this was a main reason why we had this accident. And it was we had so much rain on this trip, you cannot imagine, really. So, and when we was going at this morning, we were starting in Asheville from where we met Paul the one day, and we was going in the direction to Tennessee. And when we stopped, when we crossed the border, the rain stopped, and my husband wanted to stop. But my eyes, I was in the back, on the right side. He was outside on the left side. And when he passed my line, he didn't wait that I responding, because we had no communication system, right? So, and I had my eye in the side mirror because I saw something from the back coming, and I want to take sure, that it's my job in the back, right? So, and in the moment I turned my eyes around, he was direct in front of me. Yeah, so 21, 22 seconds, and then it's too late, right?
Ouch.
So, and I tried to go around him like this. So we had 70 miles per hour on it, okay? 70 miles per hour, okay? Yeah.
That's a little too fast for me in those close encounters.
Really? So
Yeah.
it's not fast for me, but it was.
Well, we go about 75 to 79 going from Greenville to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
and up there. But there are, to going through Charlotte, you can't go more than maybe
No.
60. You
Yeah.
can't go very fast.
Traffic. You got-
We
Yeah,
have
traffic is too much.
we have here sometimes 85. You can go really seriously 85. But we lost a day in Asheville because of the storm and everything, and we was a little bit under time pressure. And this is why we have to make miles, to get home. That was one of the reasons. So, and then, and he never had this situation because he have not that long his driver license. So he didn't thought about that, because when you have a good communication all the time, you not think about these little things, right? So he was not waiting that I'm responding, and when I want to go around him, I hit him with my handlebar. So at my you know the GS, they have the protection on the handlebar that was completely gone.
Yeah.
Then I had from Puratesh this little side lights at the side. There was one, it was completely kipped over like this. So he was not even, he was falling because he was not prepared. I don't know why, but I was not falling. I really kept the machine and I parked on the normal basis, but my cooling system was damaged. So because, his boxes, the one of his side box, the Vario box, was completely destroyed. So I picked everything up from the street.
No.
Yes, completely. When we arrived in Chattanooga in Tennessee at the dealership, I was surprised. They said they never saw something like that. But you can see how much. And I had one screw, I don't know where that was, this size, that was completely damaged. So can you imagine how much power we had when we did that? So
Sure.
but nothing else happened. So I had, my little finger was a little bit sour because of the protection, I think, when it flows away. And my husband was sour at the ribs, of course, and he had a little bit a scratch at the side, but nothing was broken because we never go without protection, this important thing. So it's an expensive experience,
Did you take pictures?
Yes.
You take pictures.
He said later, I want to stop that you make a picture from the borderline. And then I did already. And he said, honestly, yes. No, not the picture, of course, when he lie down, because, I stopped a little bit down. There was another car. He protected him from the back. That was very nice from him. So a sheriff shows up, I think, 10 minutes later, and he asked us, you're okay. So we was okay, but it was, expensive experience, honestly. So, but everything worked loud how it should be, the protection around the machine, it's scratched, but he had on his machine, it was not really that much, it was more on mine, because I hit him on a other ankle.
Well, one of the things you should always keep in mind with those headsets, they're absolutely wonderful when they're working, they're great assets, but you should always when you're riding with someone else, agree on certain hand signals, because all sorts of weird things happen. You get interference. It's Bluetooth. You're connected by Bluetooth, and you can get all kinds of interferences that will cause those units to not function properly. And when that happens, if you and your partner understand the agreed hand signals, you can go right to hand signals and not worry about the headsets.
I think the important thing, I totally agree with you, but I'm riding long enough that I did that long enough without communication system.
Right.
And so this is what I said, you have to wait that the other respond. When you see the other is not responding, you cannot do that move, right? So you have to go very quickly out of the way, then you can do it as well. So but he didn't have that. He starts riding because of me. He was not riding before, so he have only 4 years experience now, and it worked everything well in the past time. So he hadn't this
Sure.
experience. This was a problem a little bit, you know. So yeah,
Well, it's a good learning experience.
exactly. He never would forget
Nobody's
that,
hurt.
believe me.
Chalk it up.
The first reaction was, I don't get back on a bike anymore. Da, 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 da. And I said, I
Oh,
don't care.
no.
What
Yeah.
you doing? I'm going.
Yeah, you got to get back on the bike.
And
It's sort of
we
like
had-
falling off of a horse. You've
And
got
we-
to get back on the horse.
Exactly. And
Same thing.
we need it because we have to go to a dealership for the repairing. So he had to ride at
Sure.
the same moment. Yeah.
How was the dealership in Knoxville? There's supposed to be a very good dealership.
It's in Chattanooga, not in Knoxville.
Chattanooga. Yeah.
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Excellent. If you have something, I have never seen a staff so organized. So we had a hotel a little bit up, and we had no bikes because both of the bikes was over there. They was driving us to the hotel and picked us up from the hotel again.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
So honest, I never saw a better service than this group. And actually, from our dealership, because my husband was in our dealership, they had a training somewhere in Utah, and one of the staff from our dealership met the guys from Chattanooga on this training, on this BMW training, and she said also, wow, they are really good and very friendly and so helpful, and they know really what they're doing. So
Great.
really good team. I can really highly recommend it.
Have you guys thought about going through any of the off-road training that's offered
I
through
would love to. I would love to. Yeah.
Rawhide is a group, and it would probably be closer to you. It's a certified BMW training academy, and they are incredible. I think they're located in California, but I think they have another school in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, in South Carolina, in Greer, South Carolina, they have a performance driving center in Greer. That's incredible. I've been up there a couple of times. But
Well,
the
I
training
know-
is really good.
Yeah,
I know
he's good.
it's not BMW, but they have a Honda off-road training center in Atlanta.
A Honda?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, so do they provide on-road and off-road training, or just on-road?
I don't know about on-road, but they have off-road. I took a 2-day course on like a Honda 450 with my daughter.
Yeah,
It's
'cause I
a
was-
dirt bike. It's a dirt bike, right?
Pardon?
Yes, it's all off-road.
It's a dirt bike. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with Honda, I'm surprised they aren't training with their Africa Twins, because
Well,
that's
that's a pretty big bike.
well, so is my 1250, and I go anywhere. I go up, and at the Performance Driving Center, you know, we go up the sides of mountains, and I've been to underwater up to my mid-thigh. It's a
Oh,
beast of a machine.
This is more of an off-road thing. They teach classes for women, for kids.
Yeah.
You know, the 450 was a big bike. They were teaching 250s for most of the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a nice kind of interview with one of the guys at Honda Environmental Learning Center on the latest Motorcycles and Misfits podcast. They talk a lot about it.
Really?
Yeah, they refer to his link. It's like powersports.honda.com, and they've got several, I don't know, like 5 different sites across the country.
Did anybody see the new, I see where Harley is trying to capture some of the market segment, the enduro market segment. They're coming out in next summer, or by 21, they're coming out with a what do they call it? Pan American bike or
Yep.
something like
American
that.
bike.
Yeah.
You order one, Emilio?
No, that's not for me. I can't reach it. My legs are too short for
Oh,
that
okay.
bike.
Yeah, but you know, BMW has come
Right.
out with the lowering kit. So people who are vertically challenged, no
That was
problem.
me.
Yeah, yeah. But when you're off road, you actually want it a little higher because otherwise you're going to be banging the whole way. You don't want to
Your
do
ground clearance. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually beneficial to you. But I
What-
like that people who use knobbies because they get knobbies on their bikes and they think, hey, I can go anywhere.
Mm.
And they get into gravel or loose sand and the bike is slipping and sliding and they flip out, they freak out because they think with the knobbies, they're going to have a stable ride like they do on regular pavement. And that's anything but the case. Yeah, it requires some thought, but it's fun.
We did one time. We did a ride to Atlanta, and we was going 3
Oh.
days over back roads. We was going to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
And I told my navigation from the BMW. I told curvy roads, please. Not the big ones. And we had one guy with a Harley Davidson with us. So we were 3 motorcycles, 2 BMWs, and 1 Harley. And he was scared like hell for gravel, And I said, scared like hell. And there was one street they want to send us in, and he was like, no, I'm not going. And I said, the machine is so heavy, if it's not that bad,
Sure.
the whole can go for sure, So, but he wasn't going.
I got Michelin tires on
funny
mine.
thing is,
I can go anywhere.
yeah, you can ride those big Harleys off-road. I didn't say it was fun,
No.
but you can do it because part of the police training was that we had to take off-road and we had to learn how to maneuver through the sand and the mud because when you're chasing some criminal, you can't say, hey, I can't go there. You have to do what you have to do.
You was a guy on that? You did that? The police and the...
Oh, yeah.
You was on a motorcycle?
Yeah, oh, yeah. That was back in 77 when I was much, much younger and agile and could get up after taking a hit. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some great YouTube videos, too, of those guys on the Road Kings off-road.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. So
And they know really what they're doing. It's really amazing what they're doing with these bikes.
it's a very tough course.
Mhm.
So my wife thinks I'm crazy. When we're driving down the street, anytime I see a series of
All of us do
orange
also.
cones set up, I start getting excited. And I'll tell her if she's riding on the back of the bike, hang on, because we're going to take some turns. She'll hit me on the back of the helmet and say, stop it. You're not a cop anymore. Stop it. But it's,
Okay, David, we couldn't understand you. You have to do it again, David.
yeah. What did it-
He said
where's
something.
Oh, he said that his wife thought he was crazy, and I said we all do also.
Yes.
We all think he's crazy.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we have fun.
yeah, funny.
So
So,
it makes, I forget what percentage of the world's roads are dirt. And it's inconceivable that you can only ride on paved roads. Sometimes you have to get off road to see some of the most picturesque vistas, like the Cabot Trail in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. When we were whale watching, we could not have seen the whales. We couldn't have gotten to the shoreline if we didn't travel down the roads less traveled. It's just, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and go.
and it's more
That's
nicer if you go over the big streets. I think I needed to go from A to B, right? But it's no fun. So,
No.
and when you go the back roads, and we had that when we was going to Atlanta, there was no car. There was no car because
Because
everyone
everyone on the
going over
interstate.
big highways, and at the end you're so much more faster over there than when you would go the highway, right?
Absolutely.
So this was the thing we learned on the trip to North Carolina, because we was visiting my husband's brother and my sister-in-law and the family, and it was a nice trip, no question. But the problem was, first of all, there was a lot of storms. There was this big storm in in Dallas, where the tornado picks up the roofs from the apartment complex. This is why we stayed one day longer in Asheville, because we were riding directly in this storm, mega storm inside. That was the first one. And the other reason is, if you go somewhere and the other people are not riding, you have no possibilities to make day trips with the bikes. So at the end, you need the bike only to get there, and then you make everything with the car, right? And that is not fun. This is what I decided. I will do it again. So if we're riding up there and meet people like you, for example, that's nice. That makes fun. And you not in time hurry. You have to have time for that,
Oh, you do. Yes.
Yes. And then you can go so amazing roads, and you met always cool people. This is what it's my experience when you are with the bike. Telephone.
Sorry about that.
But how it is with the 1250? Is it a difference or not?
Oh yeah, I love the 1250s. They're awesome. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, excuse me.
The technique. Make it happen. So, right now we have the gorgeous weather for riding. It's a little bit chilly in the morning, but over days sunny and not more than 70 degrees. So perfect right now.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, earlier this week, 2 days ago, it was 80 degrees. Today the high was 54.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way Charleston is. It's up and down.
Texas too. We have that too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Saturday, I will leave town and join up with about 70 or 80 motorcyclists traveling about an hour and a half from here to Beaufort to one of our national cemeteries, because Saturday is the Wreaths Across America event, where wreaths are laid at the graveside of our veterans at national cemeteries. And I like to participate in that every year. And for me, it's always a little odd, because when I show up, it's usually cruisers and Harleys and Indians. And I show up on the BMW and they kind of look, and then that's it. They're okay. But at first glance, the thought is, what's he doing here? But it's a real, I call it a very touching event. One of the guys that worked with me as a police officer is also a retired Master Chief. He was a Navy SEAL trainer, and he's laid to rest there. So I make sure every year when I go there that I get a wreath and I put it at his graveside before I go around to any other grave. So it's just a little, it's something that I do for someone that I worked very closely with for so many years. Something that I would expect hopefully somebody would do for me when my turn comes around.
Blair likes his nap.
Yeah, sorry about that telephone call. I was trying to.
Yeah. Who's on the road up there? Oh, Emilio. What are you showing?
That's the only kind of ride that I do on the highway.
Oh, you're on the super.
No, really? Seriously?
Well, there are twisties, but I'm heading back home from Atlanta, so that's an 85. 85. So, and then my buddy is in front of me. He's going about 80, so I'm about 78, I think, trying to keep up with him. Because I'm afraid of getting a ticket, and my my app is gonna go off any minute if I go over 80.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
That's the GoPro that I have. I have two GoPros. One that it goes in the front, one that it goes in the back. Only.
I just bought me
Contour.
yeah, Contour. It's what I like is you can
Helmet
make it
cam?
like, yes, it's a helmet camera.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And what I like at this is that you only, when the cup is down, you only have one movement to make, and it have a adjuster where you can exactly adjust the height with it, and then you need only one hand and you make it running. Yeah, wait a minute.
Ah,
Oh, here, this slider, you only have
Yep.
to activate, and then it runs, and this is not running.
oh, very good.
That's what my aunt has on her bicycle.
Yes, very nice. And I saw a lot of bikers, they like that, because it's so easygoing. Maybe it's not the highest quality you got to get from the photos, but the GoPro and everything else is so complicated, And I don't want something up on my helmet. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't have it on my helmet. This one is the white GoPro,
Mhm,
and this is operated with the phone.
mhm.
Right.
So I have it on. I have my phone, and I put it on and put it off, and then now this one goes to the back because I can turn it off. The one that it goes in the front is I can't do that because I can't have two on the same app. So I only have one on the app for the back. The one on the front can stay on, has
Mhm.
up until it's full the SD card. But this one is pretty easy to operate. It's pretty easy. You turn it on once, you put it on, and then you can do it with the app. So it's pretty easy. But I like that version that you have.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Emilio, I've got just like that, but I put mine on one of my hard cases, and then I have a remote control on a lanyard.
Right.
So I can activate it, and I look at it on the phone to see where it's positioned. And then I cut it off, and when I'm riding, if it's something I want to shoot and save for later, I just click it on.
Right.
And when I'm ready to disengage, click it off. It's kind of neat.
Awesome.
I tried to find a place on my bike, but it's so, that you have something to hold your phone, you have this, and this is so, it's not enough space. And then when I want to work with the, with the secure system, I don't know the word in English, then, it feels every vibration from the bike. So this is also not that best position.
Yeah.
So I was struggling a long time what I will take for that or not. And I think for at least it is not that expensive, honestly. And it's good, but it's, it's not that, that I have this stuff on the helmet. I hate it,
I don't either. I don't want to have anything
It's on the side of your helmet, isn't it?
Yeah, this is on the side, yes, but it's a little bit tricky, and it have a different kind of holder, so you can adjust it. You see?
Adjust it. Sure.
So this is, but it have also a sensor, a laser that you can make it in the right position. So at the helmet, it's a little bit more like this, because when you're sitting there, that it's really the right ankle, right? That it goes.
Sure.
So really tricky. But it's when you have, like me, like a modular helmet, you have to be careful where you put it, at the side. It's
You don't wear earrings when you're riding, do you?
No.
Because I know my wife has a problem with the earrings catching in the helmet, and I always tell her, take the earrings off.
And my friend, actually, she lost so many earrings because of when you take the helmet off and down and it falls down. Sometimes you don't see that, and then at the end you say, oh shit, I have only one of these left, right? And it's pressing. When the helmet is sitting flat, it presses on your skin, and this hurts over, when you make this long ridings. Not
any pressure against the skin. I don't have problem with hair or earrings or anything like that, so I'm good. Streamline.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That's
you
right,
don't need a helmet right now.
See, Jim is laughing because he's saying, look, he's not even as old as I am. I still have my hair. He doesn't.
Jim?
Yeah.
Jim,
I have a lot of hair, but don't tell my wife. Oh, I do want to point out that there's a river road ride in June or July up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
In June or July?
Yeah,
That's in July.
Okay.
July. Middle of July, around the 17th, I think.
Hi, Glenda.
Hi.
and for the more adventurous, there's a ride in Australia next year in October.
Oh, I know. Would I ever love that? Wow.
Yeah,
That would be phenomenal.
maybe sometimes, not yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Where's,
Who was that?
hey, Rory. I saw that comment about following John going off road. You always have to be prepared.
Just a little muddy downhill in a couple of 2 tracks.
Well, you learn real quickly who and who not to follow, right?
Yeah, GPS.
Yeah. Oh, no. Never trust a GPS.
Exactly.
No.
I never go on a trip. I never go on a trip without my paper maps.
Absolutely.
Great.
Something I always profess, and people look at me, why do you carry paper? You have your GPS. Because it doesn't always work, and it doesn't always give you the shortest, most direct route. You know,
And who wants? Because when you tell the navigation you want to go from A to B, there is
Yeah.
there's only this one app I was using. It's Kalimoto. Is everybody know what is Kalimoto? Did you
No.
learn from that? Okay, I will send it in. It's an app that says no straight streets anymore.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, you know, they use some kind of algorithms that come up with different directions and time,
So
distance,
this is
and
an
travel.
app
So it's not
actually. This
perfect.
is an app you can download. It's not
Oh,
not a
okay.
free app, okay?
Yeah.
But I really like it because it gives you a different option sometimes, you know, because Basecamp, it's really ugly to use. Honestly, when you make trips, I'm hanging a lot of time at the computer when I make that.
So when you use Basecamp, do you you can select different types of roads, whether you want interstate or you want primary roads. And there's a feature on the Navigator 4 that it'll give you all off-roads. So you can design the kind of trip that you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
What I usually do is get on Google Earth and I actually zoom into the roads to see what's the contour of the roads, depending on what I'm looking for. And that's how I come up with my different directions. And then I can put it into Basecamp and get it into the nav system. So it's a little awkward, but I usually get what I want in there.
Yes, but it needs a long time, right? So, and when you go over the Kalimoto, you can share also with people over the phone. This is possible, you know. You can do that, and it gives you another possibility how you can go, and maybe you make a mix at the end out of both. But you have especially. Sure. Like for people like me, you know, I don't know anything over American streets. I shortly, but slowly I learn about that. You know what I'm talking about? So, but I remember the first time if somebody said to me when I made my first polio ride, how you want to go? And I was like, okay, I have no clue in what direction, where are the nicest streets? You know, I pretty much only don't know. I have a pretty
now you know how I felt when my little 650 Honda Transalp took a dump on me in Munich, and I was bringing up the rear of 5 guys, and everyone was gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have a clue, but I had a paper map, and I knew where our destination was.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to remember is where's north. You know, you can figure out where south is from there, and then east and west. With a paper map, I'm never lost.
And
Maybe
and in
a
German,
little.
and in German, they have a lot of street marks on the street, so much more than here, that it shows the next city. So if you have a map and you know what is the next city I have to
You
go,
can get
very
you can-
easy to go because they write it down how many kilometers you need to get there. So it's very easy. This makes it here complicated sometimes.
Yes.
But you find more routes by somebody stopping and talking to you to find out where you're pointing to on your map.
You're right. You're right.
Everything in
Jerry
Germany.
and I, pardon?
Everything in Germany is Ausfahrt or
Yes.
Straße.
Yes, oder Umleitung. 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 Umleitung.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. This is what my husband says all the time when we want to make fun about that. Ausfahrt, this is the most, what we said, the most city everywhere is Ausfahrt, but this is not the city, it's only the exit, you know. And the other thing is Umleitung, that's a detour. When you cannot go the right, this is a detour, it's Umleitung.
Oh, and the other thing I learned in Germany is stay out of the left lane on the Autobahn.
Yeah.
No.
Very quickly.
Fast.
So that you just haul ass and you're fine.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It was
When your little car doesn't go more than 120 clicks an hour, you can't haul.
It was fun laying on the
Yeah.
table and open it wide up going into Munich one morning, and I thought, boy, this is fun. I can't do this at home. And then I realized the Autobahn is restricted for different sections.
Yeah.
It's not as fast as you want to go. You do have some restrictions.
But honestly, when you go, even if you have a machine, you can go that fast. Like I had the other day a women rider, she had the Hayabusa. And I was like, okay, that's no fun. When you have this speed on it, it's no fun. You don't see anything. You have to concentrate on everybody, then on yourself, you know.
Exactly right, because you're going so fast.
And that's, you can make it periodically. So, you know, for a short time that you say, maybe until the next city we go make a little bit faster and then we slow down. But it's not really comfortable. It's not really comfortable to go that fast. And by the way, if you have the boxes on it, you cannot go that fast with the boxes anyway.
Starts to vibrate.
Mm-hmm. And I saw a post the other day that a lady posted in the Texas Facebook, something on a Facebook page. She found 2 boxes from a BMW and she looked for the owner, you know. This is what can happen when you do that. So
I have a question for you. How fast do you think you would have to travel before those boxes or cases start to feel uncomfortable?
The first of all, if you go
In
that
miles
fast,
an hour.
if you go that fast, you need a much more gasoline. That's for sure, you know, because you have a bigger windbreaker thing.
Yes,
This is
yes,
what-
you would.
and they say 130 kilometers per hour. I have to check out how many miles.
Okay,
you
I
have. But I think it's
found
60
out.
miles.
I found out the hard way because a friend of mine has a Case 1600, which is a much faster bike.
Yes.
Designed for the road, not my off-road bike.
Yeah.
And I had it at 125, and the cases started to wobble the bike, the air.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. It's not aerodynamically designed. It's not built for that kind of speed.
No, it's built that you can carry a lot of stuff, you know.
Right. And I slowed down immediately because I wanted to see the following day. And when we stopped, he was surprised. He didn't realize that bike had that kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have the power, it doesn't mean you use it. You have to use it.
I like to have the power with the car and with the motorcycle to be out of the danger zone very quickly.
Correct.
this is why I want the bike with the big power and to handle it also, because if something has happened, you know, when you see cars in front of you and you see, okay, something is wrong, it's good to have enough power to pass them, and I love to have them in my back and not in my front.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
So I cannot answer the question because I never made it so fast that I had the feeling the boxes was vibrating or anything like that, because I know I cannot go that fast. I try to.
It was a trick question.
Yeah, maybe we can, but I don't want, honestly, if it's starting to make going uncomfortable and maybe I will lost one, I don't want to try this experiment. No.
No, you've already had an experience with a collision. You don't want any more. No, no.
I told you folks about losing the iPhone on the Autobahn over there, right?
Right.
When I was riding with the IFMR folks for September, I was coming back from the Saarbrücken area on the Autobahn at night in the rain, and the iPhone went boom, right out of my RAM mount.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not the place to stop and turn around and go looking for it.
No,
Was
and
it a bad
not
thing?
in the night, well, right?
Oh yeah, at night in the rain, 130 kph. So it's like, yeah, I guess that one's gone. Time
But
for a new phone.
130 is not that bad.
No, not really. But
in
the
the
other thing
night.
is, yeah, and I didn't have rain spray for the helmet, and so the rain kept beating up on my visor, which sucked.
I know.
So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you always got to carry the rain spray. Where's it here? I got my. Actually, it might be in the bike luggage right now, but yeah, I've got a little spray bottle of the stuff for making sure we don't have an encore of that.
But I have a question for you guys, especially with the rain. We had the problem with the rain when we was in North Carolina. We had really so much rain, I cannot tell you. So,
Sure.
and I had a really good rain clothes, but my problem is, you know, my hair was inside the jacket because when it's getting wet and the water goes everywhere, right?
It goes down your back. Yeah.
So, but at the end, it was like it drops from the helmet, and at the end, it drops here inside.
Right.
So,
So,
what do you do against that?
okay. So with the rain suit that I have, both of them, they have hoods.
Mhm.
And I never ride in rain, especially heavy rain, unless I put the hood and
the
cinch it
helmet
down tight
Yep.
Mhm.
You
first.
can tell
Then put the
he
helmet
has the
on.
problem with that hair all the time, right?
Yeah, right. I don't get any water because, and it, same thing with hair is because of the hood. The hood would,
Yeah, it's
Any
covered.
water.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right, you would roll it up under that hood and
Mhm.
put that over, then put your helmet on top of that. That would keep any water. If it got into the helmet, it would just roll off the back and out of the jacket. It wouldn't roll inside. Because I've been in torrential downpours where it was raining so hard that as I leaned my bike to the left into the wind, it actually pushed me over
Mm-hmm.
into an adjacent lane. So not by choice. I just got caught in a weak hurricane. Something I wouldn't advise anybody to do. Listen,
Well,
guys.
I have
Yes,
that.
yes,
too.
you.
Oh, we have
Pardon?
7.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock already.
Yeah, it's the bewitching hour.
7.
Well, yeah.
And they
I
was
hope
leaving. They
I
was
hope
leaving.
everyone has a great. I guess you guys are getting ready for Christmas. So there's Tom.
Mhm.
Tom, you
Yeah, I've been here listening. Just, it's enjoyable to listen.
you were in the dark. I was beginning to wonder.
Well,
Are you hiding from us?
I'm fuming. I'm trying to put lanai lights up outside, and I've had 2 controllers go bad on me. So there's no dimming, no color changing, and now there's no lights. And I've spent hours putting these things up, and now I got to take them all down and return them.
You know what? When that happens, you need to just walk away. Just walk away.
That's
Give
what
yourself
I did.
some time
I sat
and
down to
relax.
enjoy.
Go
I
back.
sat down to enjoy listening to motorcycling Rotarians.
Right.
Very soothing.
But honestly, that was the first meeting we talked over so much motorcycle stuff that I'm in. That's
I
true.
know.
Yeah, that's the first time. So I really appreciate that. I think we have to do that more often to talk over, where area it's nice to go and,
And gadgets. We got to talk about gadgets on the bikes.
Exactly. And for that, it's also good because, there's so many people, they have so much more experience than I have, for example. So it's always good to share experiences.
Well, I just thought about it. I need to find out if anyone lives near Williamsburg, Virginia, somewhere up in that area, because
Yes,
I'm going to be up there the week of Christmas, and I'm thinking about towing my bike up. I know it's going to be cold, but I've got warm weather gear.
me too. I don't care. It's
Yeah.
better
Glenn,
dry and cooler.
Glenn is probably an hour.
Who?
Glenn,
An hour? Okay.
I think he's
And
an
what is
hour and a half.
It's Virginia, you said, right?
Yes.
What is it?
Williamsburg, Virginia.
It's
It's
not-
due
it's
east
not
of
Keith.
Richmond.
What is with Keith? I think
Keith,
he's
yeah.
from
I guess I
Virginia.
need to look at the list. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm missing him tonight. Normally he's there every time.
Well, I'm sure this time of year, so many people are involved with traveling, with making preparations for the holidays. And then you have somebody like me who's golfing every chance he gets.
I had my first golf lessons when we was in Florida. I never played before.
Yes! Yeah!
I need a teacher, actually. I said I need
How'd you
a
like
teacher.
it?
Yes, I like it. Yeah.
It's you can take all your frustrations out and just slam that little ball. But no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work at it, it still has a mind of its own. You'll hit it. Golf is about opposites. If you want the ball to go up, you have to hit down on it. If you want a low shot, you hit up on it. It's mind-boggling,
And
but it's fun.
concentration. A big part is the concentration, right?
Oh yeah, and I've got something for that too. They're breathing exercises that
Oh,
help you to
I
calm
thought
down.
liquor or something.
It's a mind game.
Yeah, it is. It's a big mind game. I play it every chance I get, almost every day. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. You got me off on a tangent there. So,
I live on
Night.
a golf course and had to give it up.
oh no.
Why?
My body wouldn't let me do it anymore.
That's sad.
Well,
Yep.
I'm going to share a story with you. I've had, service personnel that I've been working with PGA Hope. It's an acronym for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. And these are guys with missing limbs and serious PTSD problems. I actually had a Marine with tears in his eyes on the golf course not too long ago. And I asked him, what's wrong? He said, I don't think you get it, do you? I said, no, but if you tell me, I might. And he said, last week, I was thinking about killing myself
Oh my gosh.
because I couldn't sleep. It affected my whole life. But since I started with this program of golfing, I can sleep at night. I don't think about killing myself. I realize there is more to life because golf is a great teacher of life, not only the game of golf, but how you present oneself in the world. It's just, I can go on for hours about it. And to hear that guy talk, it really drove home some things to me. Okay, maybe this isn't just fun and games. It is for me, but others may perceive it differently. So keep it up.
But I think golf is a sport. It's about what you're doing for first. And the other thing is the socializing at the end, experience what you have. And I think this, it's not only the sport.
No.
Hi, Emilio. He was leaving. So it's not only the sport, it's really about the whole package of things.
It is.
Yeah, and I found it fascinating. We was visiting some friends in Florida, and the one guy, I think they played both longer, definitely longer than I play. But he had not a good day on this day. He was so frustrated because he cannot hit
That's golf.
the ball. And
You can have a great day one day and
Yeah.
terrible next.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I was also a little bit frustrated because when I hit the ball, it was good, but most of the time I passed it. So I really have to work on this, you know. And it's a big thing on the right position, the right standing, the right breathing,
Your
the right
posture,
concentration.
your grip,
Yes,
how
that
you,
was,
how you grip the club,
yes, yes.
and your tempo. Tempo is very important.
So this is why I said I need a professional to show me that. My husband is not able to show me that.
Well, I'm not a professional, but I can show you. I can give you a lot of tips.
Okay, maybe we can look for a golf court.
Oh, yeah.
In Bandera, I'm sure there is one.
That would be, I can find a golf course.
But
Definitely.
then, how you want to make it when you have only a 10? Do you have a flexible set?
Oh, I can rent clubs there.
Yeah, that's true.
Most courses you can rent clubs.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. Yeah. So
I've
don't
got
worry
it.
about that.
I'm actually looking for some collapsible clubs.
Really?
Yeah, they do make them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm
Have a good
stopping
week.
recording.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your weekends.
You guys too.
All right.